Hi. I really miss blogging, but I don't have time to do it because I'm struggling so much to survive. So I just wanted to make a video to share what's going on in my life. I'm not really very good at talking yet, but I'm hoping that if I practice talking, I will start to become comfortable talking the way I feel comfortable writing. But anyway, it's just like all I can say is I sort of feel like a zoo gorilla. You know, like a zoo gorilla who got released from the zoo by a bunch of hippies, and then like a year later they find him dead in the forest because he's a zoo gorilla. He didn't know what to do in the wild, and that's kind of what I feel like. Like, even though there were certain things going on in my marriage that was bad, but I was like adapted to that environment, you know, because I was like, I'm good at flowing around people. I'm really tolerant of other people. I can take a lot of deprivation. I can be really busy without, you know, I was just like in my own world doing my own stuff. I was like always really busy doing that, doing my own interests and stuff. And I was really adapted to that world because like stuff like imagination and like magic and stuff, that's what I like, and music, and that's what and astrology, and that's what I spent my time doing. I was really, really busy doing that, but none of it was necessarily a super good preparation for making a living and just survival in general, because my life now is just like mountains of paperwork. Like, I can't even explain it, because like getting divorced, but each little step turns into 4 new branches of things that have to be dealt with, like with endless orders and forms and new hearings and witnesses, and then a form has to be filled out, but this form has to be filled out, but then this one has to be filled out, but then you have to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and it's like I'm always on foot. So each time I have to go back and forth, which I have to do like 8 times for each form. You know, it's like 8 hours of walking in like 90-degree weather. It's just like very time consuming. I owe the IRS $500,000. That's time consuming. They are allowed to take the money out of my bank account. That's stressful because I've never made any money before. Yeah, so this is pretty stressful. I've been applying for jobs, tons and tons, but I have not gotten any jobs. And everyone's always like, aim lower, aim lower. It reminds me of when I first graduated from college. You know, I'm like, I was like a good student, you know, so I was like just graduating like from the honors program and everything. I got my resume on its expensive paper. I'm wearing like $1,000 suit, you know, because I have my parents' money and stuff. And then I'm like applying for all these jobs, and I applied for like, I don't know, about 100 jobs back then too, and I did not get a single fucking job. I was applying for low-level jobs too, so you don't have to start screaming aim lower. I was applying for like, you know, like fast food job. Like I would just like basically go into any place where there's businesses, and I would just go into every single business, ask for an application, and fill it out. So I was just trying to find a job. And yeah, but I didn't get anything at all. And, you know, why? I honestly don't know. One person, I remember at KFC, she was like, she's like, why are you applying for this job? You just don't really seem like you would be happy here, and I don't want to train somebody if they're not going to stay, you know. And that made me realize, like, you know, like everyone's always telling me now, everyone's always like, be a janitor, be a janitor. But what they think they don't realize is that I'm not going to get hired as a janitor or a bodyguard because they don't think I'd be good at the job. It's like, just because you think that it would suck for me to be a janitor doesn't mean that they want to hire me, because they think I would suck at being a janitor, you know. So it's like, it's not like just aiming lower is really the solution, because regardless of how high or low you think a job is, the people hiring want someone who's actually going to be good at the job, who's going to be like compatible with the job, and who's going to stick around. And for many jobs, I don't seem like the ideal candidate. You know, like I don't think I seem like the ideal janitor because I mean, don't they have to be pretty strong and other things. So, I mean, I think people for each job, they have like maybe some specific vibe that they're looking for, and I'm just not really hitting the vibe for any of the jobs is my guess, because I mean, I'm a hard worker, I'm obedient, but they're probably just looking for a specific type or something, and I'm not hitting the marks for them. That's my best guess, but I've applied to a million jobs. I did have a few rounds as a hot dog maker. That was like super fun. Take a hot dog and put it in a bun, wrap it up. Take another hot dog, put it in a bun, wrap it up. I actually loved it because it would get really busy and then you literally start to feel like you're flying. You're making hot dogs so fast. But I lost that job after a few days. I don't know why. I guess I just wasn't the right fit or something. But because I definitely was giving it my all. But anyway, what happened before, right after I graduated from college, is after the KFC lady said that, she said, you seem like maybe you should be doing something creative instead. And I was like, okay. And so then I decided that I would make money doing something creative. So I started painting and selling my paintings. And I actually did pretty good doing that because like I'm a hard worker, you know, I'm a grinder. I'm like a rabbit. I'm like prolific, you know, bing, bing, bing. And so it was really easy for me to do things that require self-motivation and stuff. And so I would just paint a lot of paintings, and I would just try absolutely every idea in terms of selling them. The only time when I had major failures would be when I tried to like do things the way you're supposed to do them. You know, like I would like submit my art to art shows or like visit with galleries, and then I would have like the worst result, like zero success. No matter how hard I tried, zero success. Nobody would let me play in any of their official art games. But when I just did things my own way, I actually sold a lot of paintings, you know, like not selling them to art people, but just selling them to anyone. Like I would have these art shows at my house, and I would invite like absolutely everyone. I would just print these flyers and give them to absolutely every human, like without in any way thinking, oh, is this the right person to give it to? I would just give it to everyone. And so like tons of people come to my house for these shows, and like even like the most important art collectors in the area at the time in California would come, and it was really cool. But that was just because I was like completely doing things my own way, I think, and just ignoring what you're supposed to do. And so I think I'm going to have to do something like that now in order to make money if I'm going to survive. Like I'm just going to have to forget the job thing, because even if I do spend like 3 months and finally get a job that pays $8 an hour, how long is it going to be before I lose that job? What will I lose that job for? I don't fucking know, but I know I probably will lose it for something, because they won't like something. They won't even tell me what it is, you know? People never tell you. It's just like you do something wrong and that's it, and you never know what the fuck it was. So, so I think that in order to have any realistic chance at survival, I'm just going to have to do my own thing and find my own way to make money. Probably a combination of legal and illegal activities would be ideal, but I'm not 100% sure what to do yet. Of course, astrology readings will be a part of it. Yeah, it's just like, the thing about my current life is that it plays it, survival sort of plays against my instincts a little bit. Like, tonight I was like walking home, and I was walking through this really narrow alley filled with homeless people, and I was just thinking about something totally different. And then like an idiot, I screamed, just remember, say no to drugs. And then I'm like, fuck, why did I say that? Like, that's probably gonna come across the wrong way. But luckily, the only person who responded was like, you're right, I feel so guilty. And so it all turned out okay. But sometimes my mouth just says things before my brain has a chance. My mouth always talks before my brain really has a chance to process it. I think that's one of the problems. But anyway, But anyway, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Trying to survive, and at the moment, I'm just trying everything really to see what works. Like, look. I got these 3 packs of Kool-Aid gummies, and I'm going to try to sell them. See? Just trying things, because if those Kool-Aid gummies sell, then that can lead me like to the next great idea. And before you know it, I'll be rich, or at least I'll be making $1,500 a month, which is my goal. The only thing is I'm worried that I might need more for Slippers. You know, because you never know what her needs could be. Like, recently I had to take her to the vet. I don't want to talk about this because I'll start crying, but anyway, it's just one thing that's really frustrating. So there's some things in life that charge so much, you know. It's like I had to give the vet like a week's worth of money. It took me a week to earn, and I've only half paid them, and she was only there for like an hour and a half, you know, and they didn't really do anything because it turned out that the whole thing was a false alarm, you know. But it's like some people, like lawyers, vets, and I'm sure a bunch of other people that I'm about to meet, they charge so much that it's like there's no way you can pay them. And I don't really know what should be done about that, but well, I know sort of, like with lawyers at least, we should eliminate the educational requirements so that there's like tons of lawyers who can work for really cheap, because lawyers do not need lawyers definitely do not need that much education. I'm smart enough to know that. Anyway. Hi, sorry, I got disconnected. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for listening, and thank you for accepting this as a blog post. It makes me feel so comforted to be able to send little messages in a bottle out into the world, because my life is like pretty isolating right now, because all the work I'm doing is pretty much things that I have to do in total solitude, and then I don't really know many people where I live, and so it just ends up like being like completely me and Slippers. But yeah, I'm just hearing that song. Somewhere out there, someone's saying a prayer in my head. Okay. Thank you. Bye.